Hey guys, what's going on? It's Kurdle, and welcome back to Unity for Noobs. So, in this episode, we're gonna improve our character from just a basic old sphere to sort of like a three-sphered worm, I guess. Sure, we'll call it that. So, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna say scale this up to 2 by 2 by 2. And it should be just flush with the ground. I'm just gonna check. Yeah, it is. I'm gonna move it up to 1.1 though, just in case. Because, why not? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna unchild the camera from the player. Only reason I'm doing this is because I don't really want it to follow around right now. Alright, so now we're gonna go create 3D object sphere. And put it under the player. And we're going to move it to 0, 0, -1. That should be the right position. We're going to move it a bit closer, I think. Let's make it -0.5. More than that. 7.5. There we go. Perfect. So that's pretty much right where we want it. But one thing you have to make sure of is that these aren't really touching, which they are, so we'll make this 751. Because if they're touching, it's the character controller is going to freak out, because it's going to be like, oh my god, why is there another object inside of my collider, and it's going to explode and everything's going to fly everywhere. So yeah, and then we're going to set the scale to 1 by 1 by 1, and we're probably going to have to move it. Yep. So let's move it to -1, 0.1, no, 0.01, there. And that's just going to put it in a good spot. We're going to actually make it -0.75, or sorry, 0.75, 0.75. And I'm going to set this to global. No, okay. Anyways, -0.575. 0. Okay, 1. -1. No, that's not. -0.75. You know what, screw it, I'll just move it. I will not let the OCD control me. And like that. There we go. It's a good spot. 0.886. Alright, so now that we got that one in, we're gonna name it body part middle. And then we're going to duplicate it. Make it 0.5 by 0.5 by 0.5. And move it to negative, I don't know, 1.866, no. Negative. Let's do that again. Bam. Right there. Alright. Now that we have that there, we're going to move them down so they're flush with the ground. Which, where's the ground exactly? I'm not too sure here. Plane. Alright, so the ground is this line about here. So we'll select this one. Move it down to there. And select this one, move it down to there. And then we're going to go into materials and drag the player material onto each of these. Then we're going to name this body part back. And then we're going to hit play. So we can move around, we can go left and right, but as you can see we can't turn. So we're going to be fixing that, because, turning is fun. We like turning, don't we? So, let's do that. So we're going to go to Scripts, Player Control. Now, in the first episode where we did this, we created a rotate speed which never really ended up being used. So what we're going to do is, instead of saying move parameters.x equals input.getAxis horizontal blah blah blah, we're going to copy this part by selecting it and hitting Control C. Now we're going to completely remove this line. Save it. Now what we want to do is we want to say this dot transform dot rotate. Basically what that says is we're saying this, which is the script, dot transform, and that's like saying get the transform component, and then if we look on the player, transform, every object must have that, dot rotate, and then rotate is a function, so like this, void update, that rotates it. So if we open brackets, it's gonna either want that, or X, Y, and Z, which is what we're gonna use. So for X, we're gonna say rotate at 0 degrees. For Y, we're gonna paste in what we had there by pressing Control V. And then for the Z rotation amount, we're gonna set that to 0. Then we're gonna close the brackets and add a semicolon, and we have to remove the semicolon from there. So the reason we're rotating along the y-axis is because, I'm just going to save that, if we look here, the y-axis is up and we want it to rotate along there, so it rotates left and right, sort of. So like, if we select body part middle, let's say, press E to rotate, if you rotate along its X, which is this red line, it goes like that. It pitches. And we don't want it to do that. I'm just checking something. Hold on. Yeah, okay. And we don't want it to do that. We want it to turn like that. So we rotate along its y-axis. So as you can see, if I change the y rotation, it does that. Alright. So now that we got that done, instead of going left and right when we press A and D, we're going to rotate. But as you can see, no matter how much we rotate, it doesn't change the direction of travel. So we're gonna have to fix that, because I mean that's problematic. So we're gonna go back to our script, and all we have to do that is say cc.simplemove move parameters times this dot transform dot rotation. And what that's going to do is basically say modify our position by our rotation, which will cause it to go forwards and backwards and whatnot. So now if we hit play again, okay. Really? Okay, hold on a sec while I figure that out. Alright guys, I'm back. I did a little bit of googling, and the problem was I did this backwards. The rotation part has to come first, and that'll remove any errors, and it'll now work. As you can see, we back up, we go this way, yeah, it works, yeah, whee! I think the rotation's a bit fast though, so we're gonna multiply it by 10. That's it, not 510, 10. And we're gonna play, we're gonna see if that's any slower. That's much better. Alright, so that's it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one.